Vincent van Gogh, a man who burned brightly, yet lived in shadows. His paintings glow with color and life, yet his own life was filled with darkness, obsession, and relentless turmoil. Today, we dive into the mind and soul of a genius who painted the world as he felt it, raw, intense, and unforgettable. Vincent van Gogh is one of the most iconic painters in history, a man whose genius was only fully recognized after his death. Today, we will explore not only his incredible art, but also the turbulent life behind it. His story is one of passion, suffering, and unrelenting creativity, a life that continues to inspire millions around the world. Born on March 30th, 1853, in the quiet village of Zundert, the Netherlands, Vincent was not like other children. Sensitive, silent, always observing, he felt the world more deeply than those around him could understand. His father, a strict Protestant minister, saw his son's intensity as a burden. His mother, gentle and artistic, tried to nurture him. Yet Vincent felt out of place, a soul too large for his small village. He walked the fields, watching peasants toil, feeling their pain as if it were his own. It was here, amidst the mud and hard labor, that he first understood the fragility and beauty of life, themes that would later dominate his art. As a young man, Vincent searched desperately for purpose. He failed at school. He failed at work. He even attempted to follow his father into the ministry, preaching to miners in Belgium, trying to save souls while feeling hollow himself. Nothing felt right. It was in this crucible of frustration and longing that Vincent discovered art, not as a hobby, but as a lifeline, a way to make sense of a chaotic world. He would throw himself into painting with almost manic intensity, driven by a need he could barely control. Vincent's early works are dark, earthy, heavy with shadow, a reflection of the world he saw. The Potato Eaters, his masterpiece of human struggle, shows peasants huddled around a simple meal, their hands rough, their faces marked by labor and sorrow. Every brushstroke screams empathy, every shadow speaks of hardship. Yet these paintings, raw and powerful, were rejected by many. Vincent was misunderstood, ignored, unnoticed, a genius lost in his own time. In 1886, Vincent arrived in Paris, moving in with his brother Theo. Suddenly, the world exploded in color. Impressionists, post-impressionists, cafes, laughter, debates. Vincent's eyes opened to light, to vibrancy, to life he had never truly seen. His palette transformed. Yellows, blues, greens, colors so intense they seemed to bleed emotion. He painted feverishly. He experimented. And yet, despite this explosion of creativity, Vincent's mind teetered on the edge. Anxiety gnawed at him. Obsession consumed him. He could not escape the storm within. Vincent moved to Arles in 1888, chasing the sun, chasing beauty, chasing an impossible dream, to create a community of artists. Paul Gauguin came to live with him, and together they shared a fiery, passionate vision of art. But the fire burned too hot. Arguments erupted, tensions mounted. One night, in a violent moment of despair, Vincent severed his own ear. He wrapped it, sent it to a woman he barely knew, and collapsed under the weight of his own mind. Madness and genius, love and pain, all intertwined. Vincent was admitted to an asylum in Saint-Rémy, yet confinement could not contain his spirit. He painted his nightmares and his dreams, the world as he felt it. The starry night was born here. Swirling skies that seemed to spin with emotion, a night alive with passion and turmoil. Every brushstroke was a scream, a whisper, a confession. The colors pulsate, as if the canvas itself carries his heartbeat. Even in madness, he was unstoppable, relentless, consumed by creation. In 1890, Vincent moved to Auvers-sur-Oise, seeking care from Dr. Paul Gachet. He painted frantically, as if racing against time, producing over 70 works in 70 days. Every scene, fields, towns, skies, was imbued with urgency, intensity, a desperate desire to leave something eternal behind. But the storm inside him would not relent. On July 27, 1890, Vincent shot himself. He died 2 days later, aged just 37. His genius unrecognized, his pain unimaginable. Yet through his suffering, he left the world a gift, art that burns with life, even decades later. Vincent van Gogh's story is not just one of talent. It is the story of a man who felt too much, loved too much, suffered too much. His life was tragedy, his art immortality. He reminds us that beauty often emerges from pain, and that the human spirit, even in its darkest moments, can create something that shines forever. And yet, Vincent's story did not end in that quiet room in Auvers. In death, the world slowly began to awaken to what it had failed to see in life. His brother Theo, the one soul who truly believed in him, was devastated. Just months after Vincent's passing, Theo too would die, as if unable to live in a world without the brother he had protected for so long. But Theo's wife, Johanna, refused to let Vincent disappear into obscurity. With quiet determination, she preserved his letters, protected his paintings, and shared his story with the world. Years passed, and something extraordinary began to happen. People started to see. The colors once called too violent became revolutionary. The brushstrokes once dismissed as unfinished became alive with emotion. The pain once hidden in silence became universal, understood by millions. Vincent van Gogh, the man who sold almost nothing, the man who doubted himself, the man who felt alone, became one of the most celebrated artists in human history. Today, his paintings hang in the greatest museums on Earth. Millions stand before sunflowers, before irises, before the starry night. Not just seeing paint on canvas, but feeling something deeper. Longing, hope, sorrow, beauty, humanity itself. What makes Vincent eternal is not just his art, but his honesty. He did not paint the world as it looked. He painted the world as it felt. Every stroke carries emotion. Every color carries memory. Every canvas carries a piece of his soul. And perhaps that is why his story still speaks to us. Because Vincent was not just a genius. He was human. He struggled to belong. He searched for meaning. He feared failure. He longed to be understood. And in that struggle, he created beauty, powerful enough to outlive time itself. The lonely boy walking through the Dutch fields. The restless artist chasing light in the south of France. The broken man staring into a swirling night sky. He is still with us, in every trembling star, in every golden field, in every work of art, born from pain and hope. Vincent van Gogh once wrote, "I want to touch people with my art." More than a century later, he still does.